Good morning, good morning. Welcome to another Monday. How exciting. Monday before Christmas. Most of us had our worlds turned upside down this week. All our plans laid laid to bear, as it were, what's the word for it? Upset, turned upside down. So I thought I would start this week by talking a little bit about mindset. So what you believe about yourself, about money, about your rights to succeed or your capabilities, they can be very limiting about what you eventually can achieve. So what are your limiting beliefs? This is James Foster and Careers Matter. Those beliefs can have come from well-meaning places. So as you're growing up, if your parents are, and this is probably affected more my generation than more recent generations, but if your parents had struggled earlier on in their lives, the chances are that their mindset about money is rubbed off, and that you've got those limiting thoughts about money that they had when they were growing up, because it was a scarce commodity, and there was no expectation, and there was almost a feeling of you get what you get, and that's your place in life, and that's a mindset that's very limiting and very debilitating. But it's the point is there. It's the source of the mindset. It's wherever it's come from, whether it's come from a belief that money's an evil thing, which, as we've mentioned on here before, about the Bible saying that it's the root of all evil, which it never did say that, by the way. The verse is the love of money is the root of all kinds of evil. Rather than it is money that's the root of all evil is not the case. But it's these limited mindsets. It's this idea that's instilled in you as you're growing up, or as you try to do things and struggle to do them, that your mind tells you things that are just not true and that limit what you can achieve and what you can attain. So, what can you do about it? Well, the first thing about a limited mindset or limited beliefs is to actually acknowledge it, to understand what it is, and to recognise that it is limiting and that it is only a belief. It's not a fact. So you may believe that you don't deserve to be successful, that you don't deserve to have wealth, that you don't have the ability to attain the next level of your career, that you don't have the capabilities to take your career to the place that you really want to get to. And if all that is true, then that's holding you back. And the first thing you have to do is recognise that these beliefs are simply that. They're beliefs, they're not fact. If you don't have a particular ability, you can always attain that ability. Good morning, Gary. And if you don't have the what's the word for it? If you don't have the wherewithal with what you have at the moment to attain the next level, then you have to go get it. But belief is, if it's belief that's holding you back, then you won't go and get it. If you don't believe you have the capability, or if you don't believe you have the right, or if you don't believe that this is something that you're able to do and able to achieve, then that is going to hold you back and stop you from doing it. And it's all a matter of belief. And so the very first thing, in order to tackle that, is to recognise it, is to examine your beliefs, to examine your thoughts, to examine what's holding you back and what's preventing you from getting to the level of your career or your life that you want to get to. And once you've identified those, then and only then can you do something about it. And it's so here's one of the things that I regularly do is I regularly look through everything that I'm about to do, what my plans are, where I intend going next. Good morning, Angela. Where I intend going next, and I look at everything that I need in order for that to come to pass, and then I go through each one of those ideas, thoughts, or objectives, shall we say, and look at what my belief is about it, about my ability to attain it. So, for example, if I talk about my recruitment business rather than my coaching business, and I talk about whether or not I am going to be able to close out a number of deals over the next 6 months, what do I need to get there? Well, I need clients to get there, and I need jobs from those clients to get there. And what about, and the limiting belief is that those jobs don't exist and those clients won't come to me, or I won't be able to get them to open up to me. And those limiting beliefs are what could hold me back from getting the jobs that I need to work on to get the revenues that I need for my business. And it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy because you don't believe you can do it, you don't do it. So by believing that I don't have the ability, or I'm not going to be able, don't have the ability, but I'm not going to be able to get the customers that I need, the clients to open up their roles for me, that's what's going to stop it from happening. But if I change that belief, if I work on that belief, and I identify what's holding me back and what's causing that belief to be the problem, and then I tackle each one of those thoughts one at a time, and deal with them. So what's going to stop companies from opening up their business to me at the moment? Well, they do everything internally. That's the first belief. They use internal recruitment teams, or they will try to fill the roles themselves, or they will have some other mechanism. They've already got recruiters that they're using. These are all the objections that come along when you're talking to a potential client. And if you simply take that at face value, you won't progress, because that's the belief that you have that's holding you back from going for that business. In my case, the answer is quite simple, and I know how to deal with that. This is really understanding how the recruitment process works, and knowing that if a potential client is looking for a possible candidate, then the one thing that they will need above all else is a good source of reliable, quality candidates. And if I have that, and I'm ready to move with the high quality candidates in exactly the areas that my potential clients are going to want, then I know that they will open up to me. And the only reason that they won't open it up to me is because I don't take these candidates to them and make the presentation that's needed. And the only reason I won't do that is because my beliefs are limiting and stopping me going forward with it. Do you see what I'm trying to say here? So you're defeating yourself with your own logic by saying these guys have got their own internal recruiters, they've got their own, they've got other recruiters that they're working with, they don't open up to external recruiters. And yet I know, it may not be every one of them, but I know that there are sufficient who will open up if you have got quality candidates ready to go in exactly where they need them, in exactly the space that they need them to be. So if I build up a depository of quality candidates, a portfolio, if you like, of quality candidates that I've already talked to, that I know are ready to go, that I know are qualified, and that I know are really good at what they do and can make a difference in the organisations where they go, and I take them forward, then I know that I will open up that business. And that is how you deal with the limiting beliefs. You deal with it by knowledge that there is another way to do things, that the limiting beliefs that are holding you back are simply that, they're beliefs that are holding you back, and that there is always something that you can do. So if you want to take the next step in your career and you're going, but I'm not good enough, nobody's going to give me that job, well, they're not. That's exactly right, they won't do it because you believe it. However, if you know what the next run of that ladder is, and you know what's needed to get there, and you know where you are potentially going to be able to get that step, whether that's internally in the company that you're working with now, or whether that's a change of job into another organisation, and you know what they're going to need from you, and you've already got it. You get the capabilities that you need, you do the training that's necessary, you gain the experience by taking on the increased workload. Very often that's the way companies are looking for you to take that initiative anyway before they're going to give you the promotion. And so if you so that's one idea. I'm not saying that's going to do it every time, but you know your own industry, you know your own belief, you know your own company. If you want to take that next step on the ladder, then you know what it is that you're going to have to do to get to that next step of the ladder. And the only thing that's holding you back is you. Your boss says, well, there isn't a position. Fine. When will there be a position? And aim for when there will be a position. If it's not going to happen in your company, change companies. Move into a job that's going to into a company that's going to have that position for you. Or, you know, if you're really good at what you do and you make yourself indispensable in the jobs that you're doing, your company is going to move heaven and earth to keep you. There's all these things that will help you to take that next step along the way. And all that's holding you back, all that's stopping you from taking that step, is your belief that you can't do it, or you're not good enough, or your company won't have the openings, or whatever it is. And I speak to people regularly about this sort of thing, about what they want to do, what they want to achieve. And here's the thing that I find a lot is that whilst they have the ambition of what they want to achieve, they don't have the wherewithal to go out and get it. They don't know how to do it. And very often that's the real issue, is that they don't know what action that they need to take in order to get where they want to get to. That's where we come in. I do. I know how to help people get to the next run of the ladder. I know how to help them overcome the obstacles that are in their own minds. I know how to help them to plot a path that's going to get them from where they are to where they want to be. And I know how the recruitment industry works, and I know how organisations work. So I know what you need to do in order to get to that next step of the ladder, whether that's going to be an internal move, if that's a possibility. It's not always possible, but it is always possible to do something to get that next step. And so therefore it's understanding what it is that you have that people are going to buy, and helping you to promote that value to the organisations that are going to want to buy it. And we can help you do that. And we can help you to present yourself. We can help you with all aspects of writing a CV that is effective and that is going to grab people's attention. This is what Careers Matters does. We help you to get to the next run of the ladder. We help you to take your career to the place that you want to get to. So this is the last week before Christmas. I'm going to be doing another 2 of these. I won't be doing Thursday morning video log. Tomorrow and Wednesday only, and then we'll be back in the new year. So hopefully, if I don't speak to you, if I don't see you before Christmas, I hope you have a great Christmas. Otherwise, I will be here tomorrow at the same time. This is James Foster and Careers Matter.